Hey guys, before we get this video started, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's been helping me out during my time of losing all my followers on Twitch. For those who don't know, I did hit around 670 plus followers, but then I got follow botted shortly after, and when I did, I ended up going from 670 all the way to 7,000, which was wild. Unfortunately, I ended up losing all my followers due to that. So the past couple of days, I've gotten really an immense amount of love and support from my community. So I want to say thank you to everybody. Once again, my Twitch handle will be right above my head. Go over there, check us out, check me out. It's at twitch.tv/extremtasticx. Really be awesome to see you there. Besides that, let's go ahead and hop into the video. How's it going, everybody? So today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to seeing on my channel. This is going to be a little bit of an educational video for Interchange on Tarkov. So I know there's a lot of people who kind of don't know Interchange all that well, or don't know the best routes to take. So this video, I'm going to kind of give you a taste of what I usually do and typically do when I go Interchange when I'm trying to make money runs. Typically my kits are not that expensive. Sometimes they are. Typically how I approach Interchange is really where I spawn, but typically my route usually stays the same every single time, no matter where I spawn at. It doesn't matter if I spawn by Intercom, down by Railroad, anywhere on the map by Power. Typically Power is one of my more favorite spawns, but I just really kind of just go anywhere. I just try to go along with my route depending on where I spawn. Now that being said, this is going to be all these raids I'm going to be doing is offline with boss on and also scavs on, just so that it's easier to get in and out. But besides that, I will be rocking the MPX because, as I said a million times before, the MPX is god tier mode. You obviously see my videos on that. But besides that, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, as I said before, the route I usually take, now this is going based off of, it's late game, it's late wipe. Typically by now, especially during the Tarkov drops, you should probably already have both your Kiba keys. You get one throughout your time doing the quest line. I think you get the Kiba 2 key. But by now, I do recommend getting the Kiba keys and I recommend getting the Intercom keys. They're both actually going for very good prices right now. So I definitely recommend trying to get that if you can. Those two keys, or actually all three of those keys, typically pay for themselves while you do these runs. Now, as I said before, it doesn't really matter where I spawn the map. I typically already have a plan laid out for me and how I'm going to try to run this map to get the most effective money. But where I spawn at, I will try to go ahead and let you know where potential spawns could be at, on top of where, and I will also have a map up. I'll talk about the potential spawns on that too. The really cool thing about Interchange is that it's just a big giant square, technically. So as of right now, we spawn by idea side. And what I'm going to do is, I already know where I'm at. I know I'm by Railroad, so I know people can spawn back there. Literally right by the by Railroad, on the other side of these two bridges. People can spawn down there by Power. And we're on idea side. So I'm going to spawn down here. What I typically do is I'll run up to the little mountain right here, and I'll check down. See if I can't see anybody trying to run crossover, and I'll immediately sprint straight inside into Interchange. Try to go right into idea and then the garage. So I go under garage for the main purpose of it's a little bit safer. You don't have to, only thing you really have to worry about are basically scavs. Typically right around here, scavs do spawn to the right. You have your entrance into idea right here, and you have your entrance to Interchange over there through idea. You'll be, and I guess I'll go ahead and go up both sides for you so you can see. So you have your front side of idea right here. When you run up this way, typically you have a scav that spawns on this side, and you'll have scavs that spawn from the far left side all across the way on these cash registers. They're really sporadic where they spawn. They can spawn really anywhere, but that's where they do spawn. Now, if you have the pharmacy key, I also recommend picking up this key as well. The pharmacy key is really good to pick up because this room right here, I don't have the key on me, but this room right here can spawn Ledexes. It's very rare, but they can still spawn in that room. Another way you can go up is right over here. It all depends which way you want to do, how you want to do it. But you run through here. You got a grenade case right there. On the other side, you have a weapons case right there, as well as a duffel bag. If you run up to the top, now this side is a bit more louder because you do have the metal, but you can see down this way where people will come through the storage area of Idea, but you also can have a more clearer chance of not running into scavs right here. I will say scavs do spawn down here as well, but you don't have to worry about scavs giving you away position on this side. Now typically by this time, I will run straight through here, and I'll jump on these boxes right here from this box right here. I'll jump on these. If I can get through. I'll jump right down this way. I'll check right here because typically sometimes a Letix can also spawn right there. But this room is really popular because they can also spawn GPUs and Tetrises all across these countertops right here. Another key to really get is Intercom key for this door right here. Now there's 3 ways to get into it. There is the back side, and there's also the side front door over here. I like to go through the middle more because I'm protected by this box right here, and I don't have to worry about people seeing me through that side as well. Now this room can spawn several things, and all these cookie trays, Athletics can spawn, and that one, and that one, and then this one. All the cookie trays, Athletics can spawn, and on this counter right here, graphics cards can spawn. Some meds, there's a duffel bag, jackets, some more meds. I've yet to see any Athletics spawn on top of this counter. They mainly spawn over by the cookie trays in that one previous room I showed you. Now I will say they can shoot through this glass. So when you do spawn here, make sure you are crouched when you unlock these doors, or be aware of your surroundings and make sure you don't hear anybody coming around. My first task when I do spawn straight into Interchange is killing Killa to see if Killa spawned up. Killa can range from 500,000 to 1,000,000 rubles depending on exactly what he has on him. So the first thing I do, if I don't see him down the hall at all, the first thing I'll do is kind of crouch right here, make sure my right side's clear, there's no scavs. See, there's Killa right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the backside of him. Once I kill him, I'll show you the spots where he can actually spawn at as well. But he's actually at a very weird angle right now. So we're gonna sneak up on him. And all we gotta do is just melt his armor. Right here. If you're rocking BT or a PS, I recommend going for the legs. But if you're rocking any type of armor piercing rounds, you should be able to just go ahead and annihilate his chest. Alright. My gun wasn't on full auto, so I'm lucky to have lived through that. So we don't have a backpack on us. I didn't bring one with me. But when you first kill him, make sure you loot his pockets, because he can spawn with a lapse key card. Also, he can spawn with a red key card as well as a violet key card. So we're gonna go ahead and take his gear off the bat, just so we have an extra we have a little bit better armor to run around with. So he's actually rocking BT, so this is roughly a 500k run. If we sell everything for the right price. He has his helmet. We're not going to put that on just so y'all can be able to see. But typically, Killa will spawn with a lapse key card, which is 250 in itself. His RPK and everything else will sell for a good amount as well. So going forward, now that I make sure my gun's on full auto. So at this point, sometimes power will be on, but sometimes it won't. So at this point, if you double tap O, if you want to know if power's on, Safe Room Exfil will say open door, closed door. If it says closed door, that's how you know power is on. So at this point, if Killa has spawned or not, and power is on or not, The next thing I'll do on my task is go turn off the silent alarm. So what I do is I run down this way, I turn to the right, and I jump over here, and I run straight down from Gosha straight down towards Ollie to these double doors here. Typically I'll open the door and I'll peek in first to make sure there ain't nobody camping into these doors, because once again, this is a very not high trafficked area, but very common area for people to camp, just because they know that secret alarms right there for Kiba. So open this. Typically, once again, I'll check my corners, make sure nobody's kind of like around to kill me. Next thing I'll do is go right in here. It doesn't matter if power's on or not, this will always turn on. Now I will say there are a bunch of Alright, well, looks like it's gonna rain soon. Alright, there is a bunch of CPUs in here, which you can loot while you're in here to see if you can get any type of graphics cards. Next thing I do after that is I'll jump out through the back here. It powers off. This is all going based off if power's off. I'll run towards the back here, in the back end of Gosha. Once again, there can be people camping these little corners right here. Be very aware. Same thing on this other side as well. Now, there's two ways you can take this. You can go underneath, or you can go this way. Me specifically, I like to go on top because you can still run into scavs underneath inside the garage. Up here, typically you're safe. And on top of it, you can see if there's any PMCs you can potentially pick off as well. Because there can be PMCs all on this side, trying to go to power. Now power is on Idea's side. Now what I do from here is I'll walk up to these boxes, check right here, and I'll go ahead and start checking all my magazines to make sure I'm good to go. Once I'm good to go, I'll try to do my best to get a peek at the roof. The roof is the worst part more than it is the windows, because people will camp on top of the roof of power, and people will camp inside of power to make sure that because they know people will go that way to turn power on to try to hit Kiba and Ultramed. So what I do is I kind of peek to see, do my best ability to check down that way. And instead of going down that ramp, what I'll do is I'll go around the corner. I'll make a swing and run up to this container right here. Now, obviously, if you have a time scope like a Valde, Bravo, Hammer, really anything that you can scope in on, this will be a lot more beneficial for you. I'm rocking a PK, so obviously this is not like the most ideal site to use whenever trying to kind of scout out an area. What I'll do is I'll kind of scout it out. You get a better visual of the rooftop. You can kind of see in there. If I think the coast is clear, I'll still be precautious. So what I'll do is I'll jump on this end right here, and I'll jump right on top of this forklift and jump straight down. This way that, you know, you did expose yourself for a little bit, but it's very minimal time, and you don't have to risk of breaking your legs to get on top of this to jump straight down. What I'll do from here is get behind here, double check again on the roof, kind of peek out. If I don't see anybody in my best ability, I'll run straight across. Once again, I'm exposing myself, but at least at this point, I have a quicker, safer way to get here. And hopefully, if there is somebody with a sniper or a Mosin, SVD, it takes them a few times to get that shot lined back up again if they missed the first time. Now, what I do from here is I'll show you back here. There is a secret stash you can hit. Right back here, if you want to take a look, obviously secret stashes can spawn your streamer items. It can spawn, obviously, like pressure gauges. It can spawn it takes anything from the loot pools, and it will spawn it into the secret stashes. I have heard people getting the most ridiculous things from those secret stashes, but the streamer items are a huge one from it. So what I do is I'll come from this back end, and I'll stay between all the cover. Checking in, checking down there, doing my best to see what's down there to make sure there isn't anybody trying to kill me. We're gonna switch audio up here for a little bit and see how well this works. All right, so now I'm using this regular audio. But from here, I'll go all the way straight down. Now this is going based off if power is on or not. If power is on, I will obviously then I will kind of run back. But if power's off still by the time I get here, I'll try to come up here. A lot of people don't know of this still to this day, and people have been playing Tarkov for a while. If you hide right here, you can get a really good peek advantage on a lot of people who come out right away. People don't look underneath here at all. I don't know why they don't, but there's a lot of times where I've gotten the drop on people just from being in this little room right here. People will run out, you can spray them down, you can spray them through here. This metal fence right here will not stop your bullets at all. So that's a really big win right there. Now the next thing I do is I check this corner immediately when I first walk in, and when I walk in, I immediately close that door. You do also have the SUV extract right here. Say that the power was on and you went through all the entire run and the SUV is still here. It only cost you 3,000 rubles to get out. All right, so back to what I was saying. So when you come into here, you got CPUs, you got jackets, you can search. You got a gas analyzer right here, but there's a bunch of spawns for tech stuff here, which is really cool. Now the first thing I do when I get here is I immediately peek out first. I never step in, I never run in immediately. I always check right here. And I'll do a slow peek all the way around to make sure there isn't anybody. And then what I'll do is I'll check the bathrooms last. Check up there. And as I'm walking in, I'll make sure the bathrooms are clear. Once again, there are jackets all around the spot. Some fuel containers can spawn right here. And obviously there's a bunch of tool containers as well for you to hit. So the coast is clear. I'll go ahead and turn on power. And the first thing I do is try to start running back. I check my right, but I keep running. I don't kind of like hesitate at all. And my first objective is to make it run straight back up ramp. Now, the same way we came in is the same way we came out is the same way we're gonna go back in. So I kind of just like at this point, I'm kind of just like, you know, listening for footsteps, making sure there's anybody kind of camping in these corners, making sure we're good. And at this point, all I'm doing is running back the same way we came out. Except for this time, I'm gonna go through right here. So when we first got here, we went all the way down from this end. But by this time, people have already made their moves. People are rotating their certain areas. If people hear power get turned on, they're gonna start making the moves around that way too. But usually, if there's people still underneath the garage or on the other side of Ollie or a camping Emercom extract, their most two hotspots they'll come through is underneath, which I'll show you when we get through. But there's a lot of common areas, traffic areas, that will happen over there when power gets turned on, or by the time this point of the raid happens. So the reason why we took this way is a lot safer. We don't have to worry about any scavs. We can go ahead and kind of like get cover, listen out for anyone that could potentially be here. But I was already pointing out earlier, a lot of people will start rotating from here, from garage. A lot of people start rotating from there, from Ollie. The same thing goes all the way down there. At this point, scavs will also still be a thing as well. Scavs will start spawning back in. So it's good for you to go ahead and start checking around for any scavs. Scavs will spawn around this way, will spawn over down that way. They spawn in like big groups on this side. So at this point, you either A, have killed Killa, or B, haven't, depending if he spawns or not. But what I like to do is I'll get on top of here and I'll sit right on top of this. I don't go through there. I don't go through these sides. I go straight up to middle and I get right on top of here. If you have a variable scope at all, it's really good to see down long hallways, to see up there, see if anyone's camping up on the top, trying to get, you know, those sniper shooter born in heaven kills from over here. So I like to camp up here a little bit. This is the last place they really look on top of. Scavs will see you, but a lot of times PMCs don't look on top of here at all. So at this point, if I know that that area is up there is clear, what I'll do is I'll run down this way. And the first thing I'll do is check in here. Make sure there isn't any type of kills, any type of PMCs, any type of scav players camping out Kiba. And what I'll do is I'll circle back around through the side to make sure everything's kind of clear when I come through. I see that there's no type of PMCs, no type of scavs in here, scav players. And the next thing I do is I start making my move for Kiba. Now, before we already hit the Kiba key, hit the Kiba alarm, so we don't have to worry about the alarm going off anymore. So we can actually loot this room incognito without having to worry about anything. Next thing I'll show you real fast is that where the killer can spawn. So killer can spawn in a dick, and also this door over here, generic. But typically, 3 spots he typically spawns at is right here in front of us, right behind this little area where he's hidden. A lot of times what I like to do is I like to go right here. As you can see, like he was right there when we killed him. If you get a really good angle right here, you can get right up on top of this and just peek. You can get killer right here. You can get killer right here. Also be careful because he can spawn right in front of the store as well. But you can get him right here as well. Typically, we got some scavs. Go take care of them real fast. Right on escalator. There's a second one up there. But this is like prime example of areas where people can kind of like be at, scavs can spawn at right there. But yeah, if you white peek though, if you slow white peek this entire corner, sometimes you can be right up against that wall too. So it's really important you definitely take a hard peek around. So say that you've officially did it. You have killer killed, you cleared your area. Next thing you want to do is try to hit Kiba. You kind of keep looking around, make sure everything's clear. You hit it again. Always close both doors. You want to try to make sure you sell the fact that no one can be in here. You got all the Kiba's loot right here. Guns can spawn up against the wall. You got a ton of opticals, weapon parts. You got some NVGs here. Silencers. A lot of good stuff. Flares can spawn in here too. You got a weapons case back here. Typically, weapons can spawn in there. All the way down here. Money can spawn on top of this counter. You got 2 weapon crates back here. The green weapon crate is a very low chance, but red rebels can spawn in this room right here. In that room right there. Weapons can spawn in this one as well. Right here, this wall can also spawn weapons. We got a Bravo site right there. Matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and switch this over for a Bravo site real fast. Oh, we got the Bravo site on. I like having the MPX with the Bravo site. Guys, you got a lot of good potential spawns. These mannequins over here can spawn with the Gen 4 armor or the United Nations armor as well. But after you get done looting, one thing I like to do is to make sure I look up here to make sure there isn't any players trying to camp overhead. Same thing this side. I like to try to make sure there's any campers overhead trying to camp Kiba for anyone trying to leave. A lot of the times too, what's really cool about this room is that you can hear the room behind you and the rooms to the side of you as well. So after that, I like to kind of make a peek over inside Brutal to see if there's any scavs in there or any PMCs, any scav players. And when I think the coast is clear, I'll go ahead and run straight back across into Brutal. It is so important that you do that immediately towards the back end so that you can make sure that there isn't anybody trying to shoot you. They have no angles to get you, anything. So at this point, you have 2 options. You can either leave now, or you can go ahead and try to hit Ultramed. For me, if I feel like I got a really good pull out of Kiba, I'll leave at this point. I'll try to get whatever kills I can on the way out, but at this point, I would try to leave. Sometimes, even though if I hit Kiba and I'm like, I can still kind of go for more, and depending on what time the raid is, like I'm at 22 minutes, typically around this time, I still have a little bit for scat players to spawn in, but I also have a lot of PMCs that either have died already or have gone or already left. So at this point, what I'll do is that I am very reckless. I'll run from brutal and I'll run straight up the middle. At that point, I had checked my, I already checked these two sides and, oh, hello. Let's get rid of that guy real fast, shall we? Where's he at? Where's that naughty boy at? Oh, God. He's on my left side. There we go. Got him. All right. Really important. Scavs do spawn up here. So it's really important to check down these hallways. At all points and times. That way you can see anywhere. If there's anyone there. Now from here, you want to try to hit Ultramed. So what we do is it goes to, once we get up the stair, escalade, we take a right. And we go right through the, the Papa John's basically. We run straight through here. Now I will say, I would check right here to make sure there isn't anybody camping this long hallway as well. And the best way to go about Ultramed to make sure there isn't any campers, to take your peaks right in through here, run up. You don't have to run up, take it as slow as possible, take it at your pace. But right up here, you can check to here, you can check down this way. You can go right into urban. Right now, this is a really big camping area. A lot of people know the camp medical, Ultramed for a million of reasons. They know it's a hot item spot. Between Tech Light and Ultramed, there could be campers down this way, checking down the hallway. There can be people camping out right in here, trying to see if they can't catch you as you're trying to run in. Could be camping up right in here. There is a lot of peak spots. And before you go anywhere near Ultramed at all, you want to check behind here and behind here to make sure there isn't a single person trying to get to you. And the first thing I like to do is check Tech Light as well. Check back there, check over there. Now Tech Light can spawn GPUs, they can spawn a lot of tech stuff as well. This right here can spawn weapon parts. But Tech Light is a huge hotspot for graphics cards and all tech stuff as well. Right here, graphics card. Case in point. After I made a full clear of Tech Light, made a full clear of the storage all the way down here, making sure there's nobody trying to kind of, you know, get me when my pants are down. You make a full clear rotation, check everywhere, make sure everywhere is clear, ready to go. Once you see that it's clear, always check right there. People, it's really easy to hide right here. I've hit in here multiple times and had no one see me. So always make sure you check this little cubby right here as well. Now, I don't have the key for this room at the current moment. I actually forgot to bring it with me. But this room can spawn a plethora of items, medical items in there. The biggest thing being Eletics. This room right here can spawn Eletics. So after you do that, the next thing I like to do is basically, at this point, I would try to get out. So based off your spawn, you can have two exit ways, Railwell or Emercom. So we're on the Ollie side of the map, which I'll have, scene cuts so we're showing those areas. We're on the Ollie side of the map on the second story of Interchange. If I have Railroad, which is over on there this way, and then if I had Emercom, I'd be going this way. But since I have Railroad, I'll show you my path for Emercom. And I will just cut back to me trying to get out, going to Railroad from the same spot. So if I have Emercom, the first thing I'll do is run straight back. Typically, you have a weapons case right there, and you have a weapons case right there. At this point, if you did what I did, you have 2 bathrooms. I would always kind of peek to make sure you're good. And you have this room, which I will always peek to make sure you're good. At this point, peek your corners. Peek your corners again. At this point, what I try to do is hop right in here. Now, if I'm overweight, if I have like all the Kiba stuff, I have all medical stuff, I have Kiba stuff on me, the first thing I'll try to do is jump right here and then just drop it straight down. Your item will drop straight down to the ground and you can just sprint down the staircase without having to worry about getting the overweight slow you down. I check right here, a spot people can camp at, check your corners, reload my gun again. And as you can tell, we're back at silent alarm. If I'm right here, the first thing I'll do is run straight towards the back. Now hop over this fence. Now we're in Gosha again. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run straight towards the back, avoiding as much as people as possible. And it's all based on how much you weigh too. First right into here, open up these doors, run straight back again, and just follow this path. Typically by now, I'll be checking this right here. People can camp in there, people can camp behind you. Just kind of like watch your corners, watch where you're going. Now, the reason why I take this path when I have railroad is because people who are trying to do Shooter Born in Heaven. You can see this very popular spot right there, and also a very popular spot up there. You can get a clear eye view of all of it, so you know if there's people there. So once you clear those, I will say scavs can spawn here. So just keep your eyes open and make sure that there's no scavs that are spawning, that are walking around. So I just heard a scav. So you can hear him right now. They're somewhere near. So what you can do from here is find out where they're at right now. If you want to take that fight, see if we see him. He's walking up. Dead. Another scav? I thought I saw another one. So you can take out those scavs. Typically, you can probably just leave those scavs alone because they're on the other side of the map. They're not going to really aggro you. But what I like to do from here, once again, just covering your corners. Run up against this wall and jump down as soon as you can. Drop your backpack if you think you're overweight. But from there, you can jump here. Jump here. Now, there's a few spots. Now, this part kind of sucks because there is a lot of, like, exit camping spots. People can hide in that bush right there. People can hide up all along this wall, all along these trees. You got a weapons crate right here as well, if you want to hit that, if you're feeling ballsy. But what I like to do is I try to get as much low ground as possible, where it's hard for them to really hit me anywhere. I'll run up around this path right here. I will say people can also get on top of this right there inside that truck. But as you're trying to run all the way around, what I do is I try to mark all my boxes, right? So as I'm running all the way around, I run from the back end to make sure both of these areas are clear. I run from the back end, and this is really important. When you jump up here, try to jump on top of this truck and hide behind here. Your vitals are protected, where the only thing you have to worry about are people hiding in these 2 areas. Right here and right there. Yeah, so there you go. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Now let's go ahead and rotate back into Intercom, and I'll show you how to get out of railroad this side. So from here, it could be a little tricky because there's a lot of exposed areas. I got 10 minutes left, so this is gonna have to make this one quick. All right, so fast forward. Typically what I like to do is I'll try to run straight down, jump a little bit, and I'll run back towards here. I will say Techo can also spawn graphics cards if you want to take a peek in there. Well, what I'll do is I'll run towards this back end, run through the stores to try to, you know, cover yourself as much as possible. Checking your right side, running straight down, still checking your right side. And from this point, the only people you have to really worry about are scav players. There's a scav down there. Either way, now we're running through the front of the store. So from this point, after you run to the front, what I like to do is go through the trees. It gives you more cover. Not physical cover, but it makes you less visible for the enemy. So right up here, people do like to camp up here. Once again, this is a very, not very popular shoot up born in heaven area for people to shoot, but it is an area people will go up there and camp. But what I like to do is go straight down the middle through these trees. I like to peek around, make sure there isn't any scavs, any scav players chilling down there. This tower also look out for because people can camp up there. And as soon as you got your energy back, I would sprint straight across. And would make our way all the way down to... Oh, see, there's a scav. Oh, fucking Christ. Really? There's always that one scav. Always that one scav. That has to give us a hard time. We'll go ahead and patch up that bleed real fast. Imagine dying to a scav and during your tutorial video. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and run up through here. So after you clear everything, you just kind of run through here. And there are several secret stashes you can hit on the way out. Let's fix our leg real fast. Well, fast forward to us fixing our leg. Alright, and our leg is fixed. So there is one secret stash right here that you can hit. Once you hit that, what I like to typically do is... so there's a lot of open spots from here to the next area. To the actual exfil. So what I like to do is try to stay behind trees as much as possible. But there's one secret stash right there. The next one you can hit while you're here is right over here. Right between these two pillars, there's that one right there that you can hit. And once you're done hitting that one, the last one you can hit on the way out is right over here. Right here. Now I will say there are a lot of bushes from here to there. You got all those, you got all of those, those over there. There's a lot of bushes in these areas for people to hide in. So it's very important by this time to make sure you're being very hyper aware of what's around you, the bushes around you, listening for any type of scruffles of branches moving. Now the biggest spot people like to also camp is right in those bushes right there. Want to stay at a far distance. Those bushes don't render right away, so you can definitely take a peek over there and see if you see anybody kind of just chilling inside there. They'll be kind of different from everybody throughout the whole entire bush. They'll look a lot different and they'll stick out majorly in that bush. But as we approach, you got a lot of different little spots. People could be kind of hiding. People can be hiding underneath there. But when you feel like the coast is clear, all you gotta do is run up between these two carts. Now I will say, if you go back here, it won't count. I recommend standing up and just checking your back in. If someone tries to leg metal you, you can jump, you know, avoid the bullets. But if you go prone in that certain situation, there is a good chance that you will get head tapped right through there. So that's kind of my guide and how I kind of run through Interchange. That is based off if I want to go ahead and hit Kiba and also hit Intercom at the same time. There's a lot of good money spots in that entirety of that map. There's so many of the covers. So many people have different playing styles that fits what kind of runs they're gonna do on certain maps. But I've been having a lot of good luck on Interchange. Also some bad raids as well. I mean, we all have them. But that's what I found to be the most effective way for me to get as much money as possible. There are a couple routes I didn't cover in this video. I was trying to get it all knocked out in one run on Interchange, which I think the route I showed y'all is kind of the best ways to go. Either way, whatever way you decide to go, the routes I showed you are the same routes you can take if you just hit Kiba alone. Besides that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I did lose a lot of my followers because I got follow botted, and since then we hit a lot of goals in the past couple days, just kind of regaining our ground and rebuilding the channel as far as Twitch goes. So I do appreciate everybody with all the love and support. I really do. Besides that, I really hope you liked this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.